I have to tell you, I've been crying all evening. I am just humbled by the group of people, the writers, the journalists who are among this exceptional audience, and I just applaud all of you because your work is moving, it is educational, and I'm very proud of you all. The story of Ruby Bridges is one that I learned from almost the moment that I set foot in New Orleans about 15 years ago, and it's a story that I wanted to tell. And when I brought this story to Jack Renaud on the 50th anniversary, it was shortly after I returned from the Katrina 5-year commemoration. Ruby Bridges was speaking at a gathering of people and talking about how we can all together uplift one another. 50 years later, this woman who came from very humble beginnings was still preaching about being one with one another, still preaching about coming together. And so I wanted to tell her story. So I told Jack Renaud, my producer, and he said, you know, Michelle, a lot of people haven't heard this story, but it has been told. We've got to find a different way to tell it. So we started researching, and we went through that old footage, and we found the footage of Reverend Foreman. And this man, as we said, without federal protection, without blinking an eye, it seems, looking in the face of that, can you imagine, with his 5-year-old, actually a 6-year-old daughter, and braving that, braving all of that animosity and that hatred, taking a stand, the power of one. We sat back and we said to ourselves, why are we winning the Wilbur Award? This is a story about integration. But that is what integration is, if not for the faith-based communities in this country, we would not be sitting here together the way we are now, because it's through communities of Christians, communities of Jews, communities of a number of faiths throughout this country that we were able to achieve a level of integration, at least de facto in terms of our laws. And so I want to thank Jack Renaud, my producer, who is an amazing, amazing producer. I want to thank Kim Godwin, my senior producer, who made us tweak this piece until we had it just right. For Katie Couric, who is always a wonderful supporter, and Rick Kaplan, who is our executive producer and really talks about how important it is to keep the American spirit alive. To Mike Cesario, who the editing of this was unbelievable, and to shooter Stacy, and also to Darrall Johnson. They all are an amazing team, and I just want to thank them, and I certainly want to thank the RCC for recognizing us in this way. We are truly humbled.